Hey everyone, Mr.Crankyface is back for this one, so let's get started. Time for a bit of a concept study. We need to figure out tracks for some future projects. Mr.Crankyface made a simpler roller design to see if it would track correctly with improvised track pieces. After this, he moved on to the drive wheel and idler. You can see the track doesn't want to bend smoothly, and it's also getting caught after leaving the drive wheel. This is an early concept of the gearbox with straight spur gears and a high ratio. It's meant for an ADT brushed motor to keep it slow and torquey. This revision of the gearbox was incredibly noisy. You didn't really want to be in the same room that this thing was running in. It was that loud. The gears in this version are PLA running on steel shafts. They eventually seized up, so this idea was ditched. For the minutes that it worked, it did seem to have plenty of torque and had no problem driving the track, which meant it was half a success. And this is a quick mock-up of what we're currently aiming at. The axle is similar to an earlier truck front axle. If you have followed our previous projects, you probably recognize the frame design as well. So with the old gearbox being too loud, Mr.Crankyface decided to start over with Helical Gears. And this is a cutout model of the whole gearbox, so he could print several iterations at once and save some plastic. The new gearbox runs a bit faster, which means it's harder to control the low speed, but it's a lot quieter, which is nice. The gear spacing wasn't exactly correct here, which meant it had some binding. Also testing the new front axle here to check steering angles. This is where things have started to get exciting! Track has started running a lot smoother after being run in, but sometimes still sticks to the drive wheel. Overall, just checking how it's running at different angles and speeds. So far, we're not seeing any indications of throwing the track off, binding up, or damaging the gearbox. That's a win. Time to get started on the other side, so it's not half a half track. Just using whatever color he had in the printers, since it's all prototype art, he continued printing out some stuff. And we have an unsteerable tank! Incredibly exciting to see it move at this point. It would be fun to drive this, but also be able to steer it, I guess. Everything is hooked up temporarily for a test run. Still a lot of bugs to iron out and fix, but it's really surpassing his and my expectations at this stage. Now the components have been placed a bit better and it's ready for more adventures! We're still surprised that nothing is breaking yet, but the fast gearbox takes some getting used to. The tracks are quite loud on hard surfaces, but not sure what to expect either. Some new tracks were designed and printed with a more aggressive pattern to them, and we brought it outside for a while. You can definitely notice the gearing is off here. It tends to bog down and it's hard to stay at a set speed. It is, however, already showing great promise when it comes to terrain. The 3D printed buggy had a lot of issues in the same areas, and this thing is just floating on top. So far, this has turned into a really fun project, and we have more updates planned for it, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, just let Mr. Crankyface know in the comments section, and I'm sure he'll try to help out. Thank you for watching, and I hope to speak to you soon, guys. Bye!